Well, hello. Welcome to Sunday Night Coffee Talk. Oh, 2 minutes early even. So it's been a while since we've been in the kitchen, right? It's convention season and everything is still crazy as ever. But I got myself together enough tonight to maybe talk about it a little bit and for us to test out a TikTok recipe. I see Carrie's here pulling up the boat to the live stream to talk about food and coffee. So, yeah. And then Mama Bear Lynette says, good afternoon. She's going to have to miss the live because her son's nurse leaves at 5 and she has to cut his hair and bathe him and feed him. Well, no worries. That's what replay is for. Enjoy that time with your son. So let's see. Hey, Tutu Q Cat. Good to see you. We'll give everybody a chance to get logged in. I know it's been quite the day, and it's oh, hey Laura, nice to see you. First time. Well, welcome to this high quality with a K live stream. So I've been going on all of these adventures, and then next week is going to be great because tomorrow we don't have a work day, and then I work for 3 days, and then I'm gone again on Friday. Well, you guys, I thought I was being smart here with this. There we go. I think we should be okay. I made my screen bigger, but now it's bigger than the actual screen, so I could try and read these comments a little bit easier. Yeah, 50-50. It's sort of working and kind of not at the same time. Carrie, it is instant coffee. I'm going to revisit an old recipe. Also, just to warn you guys, we're going to have noise. I have no choice but to blend tonight. But as per usual, my TikTok and Instagram feeds are full of this crazy cottage cheese recipe. Now, as you might recall, we've tried some cottage cheese recipes, including the cottage cheese ice cream, which was, I ate it, but it was not that great. But now, and I snipped a picture off the internet of someone's amazing photo of this supposed cottage cheese flatbread. So let's see. And I'm really hopeful that we're going to come up with a flatbread or at least something edible. I'm going to turn on my air fryer to 325. Let's see. I should have something set to that. I do. I'm going to set it for 15 minutes. It's going to preheat while we talk through this. My skepticism is high. So we've got 2 eggs, 1 cup of cottage cheese. I know we're going to do the whole recipe before lots of people are even here. So we'll have to talk about it multiple times. But like, check this out, guys. Literally, this is supposed to be how easy it is. Doesn't that make you skeptical? This is what makes me very skeptical as well. It's this, and now I personally am adding some seasoning. I have JJ's Meat Fixin' Rosemary Roast and Rub. I feel like that has like a nice potential for, wait, I don't want my Desiccant pack to fall in there. It has good potential to make it taste kind of like an Italian flatbread. I could be making that up, but I also like rosemary. So, and supposedly it's 2 eggs for every cup of cottage cheese. So you could get a bigger sheet pan and make a larger one and cut it up. I'm going to cut this one into 2 after it bakes, if it works. If not, I'm going to cut it in 2 and still eat half of it for my dinner. So, by the way, this JJ's Meat Fixin', this is a local seasoning from here in Columbus. The guy's super nice. I met him at the Worthington Market. And let me just tell you about this. This has salt, black pepper, rosemary, onions, garlic, paprika, ground mustard, fennel seed, red pepper, thyme, and chives. That's it. And it's just all dehydrated. So, yeah, delicious. It smells great, and it tastes good. I'm going to throw a little extra salt in there because I like things salty. Maybe that's a mistake, but we'll find out, won't we? Let's see. I see Rickwin has joined us, and Sharon is here. Good to see you guys. 22Q Cat says, really, really hope this turns out. High hopes. So Okay, now we're going to have the bad part, blending noise. But, you know, sometimes we have to sacrifice for the sake of finding out how bad YouTube is faking stuff. But, like, if you watch keto TikToks at all, my thing doesn't want to go on right. I don't know. It's a day. So, anyways, if you watch keto TikToks, I don't know, there's a lot of recipes, and let me tell you, every so often a good one comes up, but man, there's a lot of dogs. So I've got my air fryer preheating to 325, and I put 15 minutes. I don't know, all of the times are all over the place, so who knows. I also have a piece of parchment that I brushed some melted beef tallow on. Most of the TikToks are spraying it with something, but you know, we don't do a lot of spray. So let's blend, right? Blending. All right, we're done. The dog has to freak out. You know how it is. Let's see. Rickwin says Keto Twins, Indigo Neely, and Ketogenic Woman have made this cottage cheese bread, and it turned out pretty good. I have high hopes. Haven't tried it, but can't eat cottage cheese without issues. Yeah, what about ricotta? I mean, they're very similar. Anyways, we'll see though, because like Ketogenic Woman and Indigo Neely are like super talented cooks, and I'm like, you know, a nerd in the kitchen. So this is the metric as to whether regular people can make it. Let's see. Air fried Annie's eating lunch that could end up being dinner. Rickwin says, go Dyson. So let's see. Still preheating. So I'm just going to pour this in here. It's leaking off the sides of the parchment. Maybe I should have put it more on the sides. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck. But if it does, hey, it does, right? Let's see. Let's get all of the batter. The way I look at it is it's cottage cheese and eggs. So, you know, I did, by the way, enter half this into a chronometer. And then I also entered half of my tuna salad, which we'll talk about here in a second. I don't know, it looks okay. Awfully thin. My skepticism remains high. I haven't seen the one on Indigo Neely or Ketogenic Woman. I'm really behind. I can barely do anything extra. So we'll just have to see. But here's what it looks like here on my parchment. And I will tell you already that some of it has leaked under the parchment. So I may be scrubbing this pan. My hair looks bad, you guys. I don't know what's the matter with it today. Tuck it under my glasses or something. I'm sure that was a great look, me squinting at the screen. And that made it worse. Well, it's out of my face, though. It's time for me to get it trimmed up and shaped again. And also to get reshaped on the sides, getting shaggy. I know, it's only been like about a month. So, okay, it just clicked over. Let's put it in the air fryer. Carefully. And Attila, if you're looking for your drink, it's here. Set that on the edge just in case. So, anyways, I have tuna salad that I threw together. And this tuna salad has a can of tuna, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, a tablespoon and a half of kosher dill relish, and salt, pepper, onion salt, and a little bit of celery flakes. I think that's everything. Mayo, eggs, tuna, celery flakes. Yep, that's everything. And sometimes I get asked what kind of canned tuna I'm willing to eat, because canned tuna doesn't have the best reputation, but I will stand by my choices. And the one that I have today is called Safe Catch. Safe Catch is wild ahi yellow tuna fin. tuna. It is line caught. They mentioned that the mercury levels of their tuna is 25 times below FDA limit, which when we made a tuna steak, we talked about that. So let's see. Sharon says, Dyson to the rescue. Yes, saving me from the blender. Carrie says he can't do anything with his hair because he's bald. Well, you know, sometimes that's an option. But oh, Attila has a good Chemex brewed decaf coffee, so he's happy. All right. Yeah. Hey, Keto Simple. Long time no chat. I've been out of pocket. So anyways, I really like this safe catch tuna. And if you eat the whole thing, it's 43 grams of protein. And we're going to talk about that. I plan to eat half now and half tomorrow. So tuna salad. Quick and easy. Now that can go to the recycle bin and we'll be done with it. So I also got myself a little bit of lettuce, you know, to add a little extra texture or whatever to my, hopefully, a roll up or something. Let's see. Carrie says the cow went away from the mommy cow being decaf. Ah, okay. So anyways, I'm going to revisit an old summertime favorite. You guys remember last year, every time it gets hot, we make these, the Greek frappe. And I've got my instant coffee. This is the real deal Nescafe. So Nescafe is what they use. Any instant coffee will work, but you kind of want to watch the one. I mean, I don't know. We use xanthan gum, but I prefer these because they are just the. Let's see what's in here. I'm looking for the ingredients list, which should be on here, but oh, 100% pure coffee. That's it. It's just the coffee beans, Arabica, and that's actually part of why instant coffee will whip. You'll see all kinds of things. Instant coffee is bad for you. Instant coffee is good for you. Like all things, don't drink 10 cups of instant coffee every single day. Then it probably is bad for you. But if you're having it once every so often, like I'll have a couple of these this summer. So, you know, and yes, if you have a hot cup of instant coffee, it tastes weird and kind of gross, and it's not the great cup of coffee. This is different. Now, we're going to have this, forgive me, Greeks, I can't say it right. And by the way, let me get this keyboard out of here. For shame, set that there. There we go. That's better, right? Skitos. And that's no sugar, no milk. I'm just going to use water. And we're going to start off with our instant coffee. This is a pretty big cup, so size it to your vessel. And we're just going to add enough coffee to get everything wet, and then a little bit more. So that's it. And tonight's a noisy night because it's more blending. This time I have my whisker. So this is the double one. It's similar to the Keto Brains one, which is over there charging. This one is the one from Everyday Dose. We're going to talk about that too, by the way. Everyday Dose. Boy, they are on my naughty company list, but I have their thing. So we're just going to whip this up and get it all fluffy. And Carrie says, I need more coffee. Let's see. Oh, Sharon says her poor hair is getting extra conditioner washing. Way too much since setting up the garden still. Oh, I bet. Do you put it in, do you tie it back in like a ponytail holder? By the way, do you see how this is whipping up and getting foamy? That's only I guess I shouldn't say it's only achievable with instant coffee. It's most easily achievable with whipping with instant coffee. You could take your coffee beans and brew your coffee super extra strong and then reduce it down into a really thick syrup. It'll take you forever, but then it too will whip up like this. What happens is through the freeze drying of the coffee beans is that it brings up the natural oil of the bean into the surfactants, and then as you whip it, it adds stability and surface tension that holds in your instant coffee. That's why. So there you go. That's your lesson here on why this whips. By the way, this is the same process for Dalgona coffee. You would just whip it with your sweetener and a little bit of water and get this big foam, and then you would scoop it on top of your milk. Lots of different options there. And with Greek frappes, you can absolutely use more milk. You can use, in my case though, I'm just going with cold water. So I want to show you, you know how I like to bring things up close. Look, it's super thick. It ain't going anywhere. You can see it even made a hole in there from the foam. It's good. Let's see if we can flick some of it off without sending it through the entire house. It doesn't even want to shake off of there. So we'll just wash it. Well, rinse it and wash it later. Just so you know, if you want to clean these, the best way is just take another little cup with a drop of dish soap, and then you froth that, and then you rinse it again, and that's how you wash your frothers. So we'll leave that for later. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take me some ice cubes. I've got too many ice cubes, but that's all right. It's been really brutal. And then Carrie says it's like a coffee frosty. And Sharon says, yes, the hair is up, trying to avoid too many tangles. Solid choice. Well, it's just ice. And now all we're going to do is pour our water over to bring it up. As you can see, now it's going to sink down a little bit, and we're going to give it a little bit of a stir. Boom, boom, all done. Check it out, you guys. And I'll bring it up so you can see. The foam came to the top. It's mixed in a little bit. There's a little bit of the coffee now down at the bottom. And that is our summertime coffee drink. Look, it's time to turn the food. Let's see how this is going. Well, it's certainly doing a thing. If it's a proper thing, I don't know. So I don't know if I'm supposed to turn it or not turn it or what, but let me just take a feel. Well, this is interesting. I'm going to say this is a challenge. I don't know. So the awesome cooks said this came out pretty good, right? Oh no, this is a no bueno for here. Let's see. Oh, you guys. Oh, it's hot. Of course it's hot. It just came out. It's not quite cooked all the way, so I don't know. We'll leave it. We'll just cook it longer. Oops. So I feel like it's just definitely not cooked enough. I do think that it would be good if it would flip. I'm going to add some more time. And hopefully it doesn't burn on the top. So just so you know, maybe the air fryer is a bad choice. It seemed very, very, what's that word that Renee hates? Oh yeah, moist on the bottom. So I don't know. But you know what? How bad can it be? Now I could just call it basically eggs. And if I have to roll some eggs, it seems like a little bit too thick. Like maybe I should have used less batter and spread it out a little more. But worst case, we're going to flip it out onto this cutting board. By the way, this is just one of these Dealy Bobs. We'll flip it out on there, let it cool down. It seems like I'll at least be able to eat it. Maybe I'll be just cutting it up and having a scrambled egg. I don't know. We'll see. So, again, maybe it would have been better off baked in the oven for an hour or 35 minutes. Maybe I should turn it to bake now. I don't know. But it seems sort of middle of the road okay. So let's see. Carrie, let's see, that's the coffee frosty. Carrie says he's been sucking down ice water to get through the hot house. Yep. And he would like an invisible coffee version of what you made with the coffee. So it wouldn't be necessarily the same, but what you could do is if you have a really sturdy blender, you can blend up your ice into a snow cone texture and squeeze a little bit of a citrus on top, like a lemon or a lime. And as you go, you can see that it separates a little bit, and that's what you want. It's great. So yeah. And 22Q Cat says, at least your drink looks delicious. So like I said, regular people, so I will have to look up and see what Indigo Neely and Ketogenic Woman did different. I bet they baked it in the oven. I'd be willing to bet anything. Or possibly, you know, I don't mean to be so dumb, but possibly instead of air frying, I should have baked. Like, let's use our brains, Maitreya. But did we? Nah. So, Carrie says he doesn't have a blender, so he'll have to try the crushed ice later. Yeah, at least some lemon water would be nice and refreshing. If you put a little bit of lemon and a pinch of salt in there to even out the acidity from the lemon, it'll help with your hydration too. So, and yeah. So, all right, where were we? Anyways, where's my phone? Let's talk about this, because one of the things, and I'd be willing to bet baking it in the oven and spreading it a little thinner would have had this pretty good. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. I'm going to give it like a medium. So if I put in eating half of this, and I put in half a cup of cottage cheese, 1 egg, half a can of the Safe Catch wild ahi yellowfin tuna, 1 of the hard-boiled eggs, and a 1 tablespoon of mayo, and half a tablespoon of the dill relish. Just so you guys know, that is 49 grams of protein and 33 grams of fat. Oh, and Sharon says maybe I should try the batter on the crepe maker. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. We're going to have to experiment with this batter, you guys. I'd be willing to bet anything that it's not meant for the air fryer. But that's all right. But by the way, so also I'd like to add that this is 526 calories for, this meal, which is an average, it's a whole meal. I think that it would be very easy for people to double this and be having 1,000 calories, 100 grams of protein, and 66 grams of fat, and be like, depending on your size, a good halfway through your fuel for the day. So that's one of those things that, I know we're not supposed to be like calories in, calories out, but sometimes it's good to pay attention to that so that you know what you're intaking. Because if you are eating 1,000 calories at a sit down, think about it. If you ate that 3 times a day, you're going to be at 3,000 calories, 150 grams of protein, 100 grams of fat. And if you don't do like any kind of heavy exercise, that's going to be quite a lot, right? Okay, so that's it definitely looks very done on the top. Let's see. Let's just flip this over. Is this a good idea, or am I making a mess? Probably the latter, but what is life without a little adventure? One little crispy piece. Flavor's not horrible on that crispy piece. But now I can't get the pan. You guys, see, this is why, I say that I'm good for like showing regular people how to not do things. because I'm a hot mess all the time. And sometimes my food is amazing, and other times it is not. All right, there we go. Just throw this in the sink. You know, honestly, the pan came out clean, so at least it's doing something. Brooklyn says, cook in the oven, 350 degrees for 35 minutes. Yeah, so in the air fryer, when you translate that, 325, and we did, what, like 20 minutes? So we're about, that's about the same. It's a little bit on the moist side on the interior. Let me put these back where they belong. All right. You know, I think I needed to work harder on flipping it. Let's let that cool for a bit and let some of that steam escape. I know that you can't see the steam on the camera, but it's a voluminous pile of steam. All right, listen, I'm going to say that if I followed like the oven directions that Rickwin gives, there's a good chance. And like I said, it's hot, but as you can see, it's right on the outside. It's really, really moist. Rickwin, so I will tell you, I do not have soft bread. I have a flat of eggs. Let me pat some of that liquid off to show you what I mean. So as you can see, it is all liquid. So I do not have a flat of eggs. Possibly I could throw it back on the pan without the parchment and see if I can cook it a little bit longer. Oh, and Sharon says that as well. You could always slide it back on the pan and let that side dry out some. We could. Let's wipe the pan out. So we could do that. I mean, why not? What's the worst thing that can happen? Could it get worse? It's very soggy. You guys, I'm not so sure about this. I'm just saying. It's definitely not a soft bread. I have a soggy mess. I'm not sure if I can get it back into the pan. I'm not sure. Let me think about this. Let's try to slide it off with the spatula and not tear it up quite as much. There we go. That's working. So that's the vote. Then let's stick it back in for a few minutes. It'll try to preheat again, but that's all right. All right, let's throw it back in there. Hopefully, now watch, it'll stick to the pan like crazy. Oops, that's too hot. Air fry. All right, let's just put it back in for a little bit. How, you know, hey, see, this is why we do it real time though. These tests make a difference, right? Let's get the liquid off of there. Maybe it's just not done. So, like I said, that's why I like to try these TikTok trends. And I think it's even funnier when we do them live, because if it's bad, just because other people did something on it, you know, you never know what the actual experiment, you know, what the results were. And that's not to just, I will say Indigo Neely is a genius. And sometimes things that she does, I can see are amazing and correct. And I do the exact same thing, I think, and it's not the same at all. But sometimes I do amazing things too. So, you know, give and take. We'll just leave it in there for a little bit and cook it on the other side. I'm convinced that flipping it is a big deal. I'm also now thinking that what would be great is to do it on a pizza pan in the oven. Let's see. Oh, air fryer Auntie says she's done eating her skillet pizza. Also made her green tea, sugar-free, strawberry lime Heathrow drink. That's a lot of flavors. Green tea, sugar-free, strawberry lime. I don't know how I feel about that. I know I've seen him talk about it, but I just didn't realize quite how extensive that profile was. And I wonder where they are having dinner, right? They did mention they had some stuff to do. Lots of steering today. Oh, and Laura says she's been thinking about trying this recipe and making it like a pizza wrap. That would be good. Like I said, other than the fact that I think that I am troubleshooting this recipe right now live, I tend to think it seems like it's going to work. I just think that for me, I need to not use the air fryer and made it a little thinner somehow. So we'll see. I may wind up with some crispy edges, and that's not a bad thing. Oh, and Sharon says pizza. Saying pizza reminds her, but not the whole sentence. I'll wait for the second half of that sentence to appear. So anyways, I was talking about this everyday dose. You guys, can I just tell you, I tried them, ages ago, and it was okay, but I was like, actually, I just prefer my keto brains in coffee. And so it was not a winner for me. So I tried to move heaven and earth, and I finally got it to say I canceled my subscription, because you can only sign up via subscription, and then you have to wait 30 days because they demand that you wait 30 days to try it. And I was like, I don't like it. I don't want it. Unsubscribe me. So I finally got it, and it was unsubscribed. But wait. Then I got charged, and I was like, what the hell? I went in there, and I was no longer unsubscribed. And I wrote them, and they're like, well, we always feel that you should really give it another try. And we do have a return policy, though. So we will unsubscribe you again this time, and it will stay unsubscribed, just so you know. Like, they were very like, just so you know, this second time that now that you've engaged us to do the unsubscribing, it'll really be unsubscribed. So I was pretty mad. And I said, well, then I absolutely would like this shipment to be returned. And they were like, oh, anyway, so once you receive it, you can go and buy shipping, because we don't pay shipping for returns. And you also have to return a free gift that we're including. So by the time I got the weight of the product and the free gift, it cost almost as much as the subscription. So I just wrote them back, and I was like, fine, I'll keep this one, but don't you ever send me anything again. And if you charge me again, I will be filing a dispute with my bank. And honestly, I still am really unhappy, and I think you should give me my money back regardless of whether I return the product or not. And I will absolutely be telling everybody and anybody that you should not get involved with Everyday Dose. So that is my official, and rarely do I say you should not get involved with something, but this one I'm going to say absolutely just get rid of it. They are a bad company because they are unethical. And that's not a thing you hear very often from me, unethical. But that is exactly what that is. If you unsubscribe and they resubscribe you and charge money, that is unethical. So, and Hungry He says I should go ahead and dispute it anyway. I thought about it. I almost did, and then I decided that I know people who actually do like it anyways. So I was just going to keep it and either eventually use it myself or gift it. So to somebody that I know utilizes the product. I am now even more 1,000% happy with Keto Brains, because we did the 3-pack because we're going through a lot of it, and then suddenly we weren't going through a lot of it, and we got a piled up quantity. So I did pause my Keto Brain subscription, and it's all good. They sent me a little note and said, hey, making sure you're paused. When you're ready to re-up, or if you want to re-up, here's how you do it, and did the step-by-step instructions, and haven't heard one peep since then. That's how you do it. Hungry He says I'm too nice. Well, Am I? Anyways, I'm still pretty hot under the collar with them. So let me take a peek here. I'm just going to keep letting it go. It's improving. Maybe it just needed flipped and then cooked longer. It's definitely getting a couple crispy edges. So I would say that I would probably make it again and try it in the oven. But now I'm definitely not interested in the oven because I'm getting over warm and like a little sweaty here just from running the air fryer, you guys. So, yeah, so where was I? Oh, yeah. So yesterday we had initially planned to do like a big 50-mile bike ride and then like having picnic in a park and all that stuff. But as we saw the weather report, it was like, no, at 1 o'clock, we're going to start getting storms in the area. You guys, my hair is making me crazy because it looks so bad. But I don't know what's the matter with it. Hungry He says, me being hot under the collar doesn't really affect them. That's true. It's true. But like I said, I decided to just keep it because the hassle, it really is the hassle to deal with it was worse than just keeping the product. I'm sure they count on that too. Thanks, Carrie. That's a very nice compliment. Carrie says that's why he uses the new wave oven so it doesn't heat the house. Yep. And Hungry He says it's my money. That's right, and that's fine. And I've made my peace with that. Honestly, it was like $25. It's a lesson learned. Tutu Q Cat says she might try it in the oven sometime this coming week and see what happens. She can report back the results. Been wanting to try it. Yeah, I mean, I will tell you it smells good. And, you know, I whipped that moisture out, put it back in. When I just looked at it, it was definitely looking better. So I'm now hopeful. Oh, yeah. So, yes, I'm going to get back on track. Yesterday, we were going to do this big grand, but when we saw the weather, we decided let's not do that. And Attila's been talking about commuting to work. So we actually made the bike ride to his place of work. And then we usually go to the local farmer's market on Saturdays. So instead, oh, Lisa's made the cottage cheese wrap bread last night. So did I screw it up somehow? That mine was not good and everybody else seems to be coming up with nice flatbreads? Or do you think it's I needed to flip and cook it longer? I'm interested in feedback. Like, this is like killing me. Not really, but whatever. And Lisa said she just got her salty Palmer, about to drink some. That sounds really good. So we do that to test so he can see if he can commute to work, and I think that he can. And then we decided to go to the farmer's market in down the road from us at the end of the trail instead of our local one because friends of ours were manning the bike parking. So that means not just randomly chaining your bike up and leaving it away. So that was very appealing, plus seeing our friends. And that made it for a nice bike ride, not the 50 miles we planned, but meant we'd be going like 30. So we did that. But as we headed back, we're like, wait a minute, what's this farmer's market? So we wandered through a half of this really big farmer's market in Dublin, Ohio. And that was nice enough that I think it'll be worth going back sometime. And then we went to the Clintonville Farmers Market, and you guys, we walked through the market. We got iced beverages. I got iced tea, and on the way to get the iced tea, I saw that someone had the nice fresh baby white turnips, and I was like, yeah. Lisa said she really enjoyed the flavor of this flatbread. We'll make it again in a silicone pan, a little thicker. Okay. Okay, and Lisa said she made hers in a pan that was much too big, so it came out very thin, but it was pretty close to the homemade Egg Life wrap consistency. Okay. that tells me then that it also has a little bit of that sponge factor. So I don't feel so bad about this one. Okay. Now it does make me think, I want to try this batter on the crepe maker. I'm going to do that. I don't know about tomorrow. I've got a lot to do tomorrow. Anyways, we go down to the Clinton Farmers Market. One more peeky peek. Okay, you guys, this is much more promising. All right, that was the trick, flipping it. Now the other side is too moist. Can't win for losing. I don't have an egg. I don't have a rack here to throw it out on, but just flip it out. All right. We're going to let this cool. In fact, actually, I'm going to throw it in the fridge. But now it is much more, as you can see. But this part is like a little burnt where it was like extra thin. We'll eat that side. Let me throw it in the fridge to help it cool down. All right, we'll give it a few minutes and then we'll pull it out and cut it in half. It seems pretty good now. I'm definitely happier with that, flipping it and cooking it longer. So, all right. I think that it's definitely going to be worth a retry and a retest. I will try it in a minute. I don't know why it would see. I don't know why it would taste eggy though. I mean, it's only 2 eggs and it's cottage cheese. But I'm also not the best judge because I don't mind if things are eggy. I kind of like that. So, and Rickwin says no eggy taste at air fried Auntie. And Carrie says it looks cool with the flipping and the cooking again. And Lisa says she doesn't think there was any eggy flavor. She did see somebody making it with just egg whites and wonder if that increases the eggy flavor or decreases it. Huh. You know, actually, I wonder if I just add like a teaspoon of egg white powder, if that might solve all my issues there. So, and our friend Annie would like to try it with ricotta. Just so you know, like I'm not sure what the misgivings is about the cottage cheese, because once you blend it, there's zero difference between ricotta and cottage cheese. Ricotta is actually the same recipe as cottage cheese. It's just smaller curds and strained more. So I do think the ricotta cheese would work though, because it's got more of the whey removed. Lisa ate a half pound of pastrami at 11 a.m. and then passed out. Yeah, the reason that happens is because your body has to work real hard on the digestion. And then Lisa says she's also not an eggy judge. Yeah, I mean, for sure, I'll let you know. Like I said, I put it in the fridge, though, so it can cool down before I cut it up. So I'm very curious. I can't wait to try it. Also, now that you mention it, I'm wondering if it will work in the mini dash waffle makers. It's the high temperature that makes me wonder if that might not be a good idea, though. And 22Q Cat says if she makes chopples with a whole egg, it's too eggy, so that's why she just can't do an eggy taste. Very picky. Carrie's telling us a joke. He says some eggs were telling jokes and they cracked up. So Lisa says she thought the same using the powder and having more so she has more cottage cheese to keep on trying. Me too. So, okay, that's about all the patience I have. It's still pretty warm, but I can pick it up and tear it, evidently. This part's really crunchy. The crunchy part tasted great. All right. Beautiful. It is not. I will save this nice piece for tomorrow and use the ruined piece today. But so I will tell you, like I said, it looks that air fried Angie. I didn't think it tastes eggy, but that's because I put a lot of seasoning in there. We'll set that there to cool. Let's get my tuna on there. That's right, I dropped my spoon on the floor. So as you can see, I'm definitely still kind of a hot mess. Now we can put the tuna salad back in the fridge. I'll keep the spoon because inevitably it's going to fall out, as sandwich stuff does. Look at that though, like cleaning as we go. Nice, right? Throw my lettuce on there. By the way, this is a spring mix, so it has baby lettuce and like a bunch of other stuff. Whatever goes in baby spring mix. I didn't pay attention. But I will say it rolls lovely. My tuna is trying to escape, and the part where I tore it while flipping it around. It tastes great. It's great. I don't think it tastes eggy. I think it tastes like my seasoning. So I would say season it generously. Lisa said she also had tuna on her cottage bread wrap last night during the cook-along. Nice. When Carrie says the sandwich will be kind of lumpy with the spring mix, or kind of jumpy with the spring mix. Lisa says great minds think alike. Yeah. So, all right, I'm not unhappy. I think I could make some adjustments and really make this work out nice. Oh, yeah, I'm super happy with that. Yeah, it does. It tastes really good. So, you know who's missing tonight? Where the heck is Coda Bear? Oh, Coda Bear had an event. That's right. So, I need like a little barrette now, I think, for my hair. Now that it's getting this weird floppy bit to it. A little barrette to hold it back would be perfect. And then I would stop fiddling with it. And Tutu Cute Cat says it worked. Yay. Yeah. If I can figure out, and I think that baking it in the oven is probably the answer, I think it'll be right nice. I will say that I don't think it's bread texture, and it's definitely not flatbread. However, it is a nice wrap. And I will say I liked it better than eggs blended with spinach. Hungry He says, or a hat. Yeah, but I don't want to wear a hat all the time. So just like a little barrette to pin it back out of the way is perfect. Although right now, like how it's like all slicked back, I kind of was like, geez, maybe I just want my pixie back. Pixie is real short hair. Or maybe I should just shave it all. And just have like, a quarter all over. I don't know. Nah, it's fine. I'm just frustrated right now because it's being annoying. It's hair. Some days you have bad hair days, and today's my day for it. Oh, yeah. So anyways, the farmer's market. That's what I was telling you guys about. By the way, this tastes good. So I just want to reiterate, it's tasty. So I'm going to color it a winner. It might not be the right texture yet, but it's pretty good. So I'm going with it as calling it a 1 thumb. 2 thumbs if it were beautiful bread like fathead dough. It's not quite there, but it's pretty tasty. It's a little bit of a wetter texture than bread, but it fulfills the purpose and it tastes good. So Clintonville Farmers Market. So I saw those little turnips and I was like, I'm going to go back and get those. And of course, just as I get there, the person in front of me buys the rest of them and they're sold out. So I didn't get my turnips. So about that. But So, and I was like kind of like grumbling. I was like, oh, great. Well, and this farmer's market doesn't have my keto cookies. And even if we were to really, put our, put our all into it and like try to bite back, there's no way we'd make it to the Worthington farmer's market. I was a little bit like, like when you don't get what you want and you feel like because you're like a really spoiled in real life, you kind of get a little salty about it. I was momentarily salty. And then I was just like standing there and I looked across the street and I saw one final vendor. And I was like, well, I wonder what they have. And we get there and it's meat. So I'm like, oh, and it's, and they mentioned that it is a pasture raised pork and they've got sausages, like big sausages. And they've got bratwurst. And I was like, well, I'm interested in that because they had a blue cheese one, and then they had they were sampling their pizza version. And let me tell you, I tasted that pizza sample, and I was like, I'm sold. So let me show you these sausages. And they don't put like crazy things in it. This has mozzarella cheese, milk, which has milk, salt, and enzymes, cream, sodium phosphate, salt, sorbic acid as a preservative, seasoning, which contains salt, spices, including fennel and celery seed, Parmesan cheese, which contains cow's milk and cheese culture, salt, it's got a lot of salt, enzymes, and tomato powder, and then dehydrated onion and garlic, and dehydrated bell pepper, and of course the pork. So the pork was the first ingredient. I just skipped past it. So that was the Italian pizza sausage with cheese, and it tasted so good. And then, like I said, and the other one was pork buffalo and blue cheese sausage links. So I am gonna cook these up tomorrow as part of our weekly meal prep. And the other thing I'm going to get is the other thing I'm going to make is a meatloaf because we have 4 pounds of ground beef in the freezer. So I pulled that out. It's thawing, and tomorrow I will throw it into a nice meatloaf. I'm undecided as to whether it's going to be just regular meatloaf or if I'm going to stuff it with some cheese. I do have a fair bit of that sliced cheese left, so I could also just mix chopped cheese up in there. So, yeah. The answer, Hungry Heath, can we visit them next year? I don't know. Because a lot of farms and small businesses are not always at all of the farmers market. So 50-50. Maybe, maybe not. We'll for sure, at least if you're here on a Saturday, hit up a farmer's market. I just don't know which one. Depends on where we're at, so it'll vary. I really hope, actually, where I want to take you is the hot sauce vendor. So the week you're going to be here, we'll check the farmers markets and see which one they're at because they go to different ones. And, we know to ask for the special to see what they've got while they're there. And Carrie says, I have to be careful not to let the meat loaf. Well, that's exactly what we wanted to do. Anyways, I forgot whatever I was saying mid-sentence. Yeah. So the farmer's market, Hungry He says, boo, hiss. Now it's his turn to pitch a fit because he didn't get his way. I didn't really pitch a fit. I just momentarily salty in my head. So, but anyways, after all of that, where we shortened our ride, we came all the way back, and then we went and Attila bought us lunch at a place called Rusty Bucket. They're pretty tasty, and it's a chain, but they're pretty tasty, and they will make accommodations for you if you ask for them. I didn't need to. I ordered the, I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically their bacon cheeseburger, medium rare. It had caramelized onions, a bunch of bacon, and melted cheddar cheese on it. And I got the side of coleslaw with it. And it was so good. I plowed through it like it was like once the food was like it like hit the table, and I was like, better watch out, wait person, lest you lose any fingers, because I was like suddenly like ravenous. But we ate that, then we came home, and but so it was nice. We did 32.9 something miles, so respectable. Not the 50-miler we planned, but here's the rub. We made all those changes to our plan because we were told it was going to be lots of bad storms, and we didn't get one drop. We easily could have done our original 50 miles and gone out to the park and had an amazing day. But the day turned out pretty nice anyways. I'm just like, man, I don't know. So, but we discovered that Dublin farmers market, and that was pretty amazing. It was really nice. Weirdly, they had some kind of gym out there that was doing wrestling and kettlebells. Not at the same time, but I did find that a little bit weird. But, you know. Yeah. And Carrie says that it sucks that there was no rain, but cool that it was a good day anyway on the bikes. Yeah. I really am enjoying my e-bike now that I've gotten used to how to ride it and use it appropriately. And now I have the big panniers and a trunk bag on it, so I can really load her up. So it's nice. We can basically go anywhere now and not be concerned about not being able to bring stuff back that we want to pick up. I'm pleased with that. One of these times we're gonna bike right back out to Delaware, meet up with our friends, and enjoy some a nice meal out too. There's a hamburger joint there that is really delicious. So. Anyways, any last thoughts or questions before I disappear and make this disappear? I have one more bite. Oh. Sitting here, it got better. Shauna, I want to say it's not eggy, but I feel like by Shauna metrics, it might be. So we're going to do a bunch of experiments with this cottage cheese stuff, with this cottage cheese flatbread. I'm going to try it first in the oven. Then I'm going to try it with just egg whites. Then I'm going to try it back with the whole eggs and some egg white powder. How does that sound? I hope it sounds good. At any rate, I'm about to make this disappear in like record time, because now that it had a chance to cool down a little bit, it's not as moist. Let me pull off a piece here. It's still moist, and it's not exactly bread-like, but I don't know if you can really get the visual here. And I don't want to necessarily bring up like where I've been chomping it, but you can see. Well, you can't see because it doesn't focus on it. But yeah, it's decent. It definitely tastes good. So you guys have a nice evening, and I'm going to go and eat my dinner and finish my frappe that I've already almost finished and pass out for the evening. You have an amazing weekend. I look forward to seeing you guys. I don't know if we're going to have a coffee talk next Sunday, because I'll be driving back from camp, and that's like a 2.5-hour drive after I get everybody checked out of the event, and get packed up and loaded out and all of that. But we might do just like a quick little 20-minute sit and chat, my tea chair, and do a rundown of the event and talk about that. But the week after, we are 100% going to have one. I'm going to show you my new cooking toy, because I I'm so excited because it's a big expenditure. It's something that I've wanted for since they first came out, and I saw them on other YouTube channels, but they were out of my price range. And with enough coupons and stretching and pinching and all of that, I was able to finally get an electric Blackstone. And so when it gets here, you know, we gotta cook on it. Like, that's crazy. It's gonna take up like this much of the counter. It's gonna be hilarious. So I will see you guys I will do, I don't know if I'm doing Cheese Friday. I gotta get loaded up and packed out. Maybe we'll do Cheese Thursday evening. How does that sound? Cheese Thursday doesn't have the same ring as Cheese Friday, but we might run with it. You guys have an amazing weekend. Bye-bye.